Shalom Akim, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Kwakadash, the one and salutations to the elders and apostles of Grimstone, Ruel, of Grip Stone, and to the Akim, try to focus on the earth, so yeah, say Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. Yeah, man, so Esau's not going to let go concerning his agenda to make people take the vaccine. So while you have in the District of Columbia, that's DC, Washington, DC, says that DC launches Vaccine Buddies program to get seniors in low income areas vaccinated. Yeah, so that's what the elite plan, man. They always have some tools, man, up their sleeves. And when you also do another search, you see it's gonna also appear for the state of Connecticut. In New Haven, Connecticut, they also have another so-called Vaccine Buddies program. All right, so they want to get these seniors to take the jab. Yeah, and you hear about people dying and all that stuff. So it just shows you how desperate Esau is, man. And then you see the short video about the shipments of the ASG cadaver bags. Yeah, going back and forth. No, you could do a search online. It's always information online for you to look into and do your research because he's so desperate, man, to have his rulership, and he's gonna push hard by any means necessary to make sure he accomplishes it. So you'll be surprised, man, what he's willing to do. So it says a new program is underway in the district to help senior citizens schedule appointments to get their vaccine. So it says this is from the NBC Washington in DC here. So it says Max Seagraves explains how it's happening and has more. Yeah, so you could read more if you want to. So let me increase the. All right, so it says let's see. Okay. All right, and has more on the new effort to thank the law enforcement who protected the Capitol during the inauguration. So you'd be surprised, man. So this is just for DC. So when you read other articles, Washington Post, and then you see other sites, it tells you how they gotta go from, you know, door to door, following up with the elderly, giving them information, helping to get them there, with transportation and all that stuff, making sure they get there on time and all that stuff. So that's how far Esau's willing to go to get the elderly, you know, to take the jab. And now that you have the teachers, in DC, they're thinking about going on strike because of the so-called conditions in the building where they're going to be teaching the students, and they're pushing for online classes because they want they want enough resources as per sanitary materials for the so-called buildings they're teaching in. They want enough hand sanitizers. They're concerned about the HVAC system. They're concerned about soap and hot water and all that stuff and everything else. They're also concerned about the nursing staff in school, because they always say that you gotta have at least a nurse in every school. So you can imagine one nurse to how many students. So that's gonna be hard. So in the school we have over 300 300 students to one person. How you gonna manage that? So that's the concerns, man, that the teachers are bringing up, and they're also saying that their health and safety is not something for them to joke with. That they try not to, lose their lives, all because they want to reopen the schools. And the mayor, he doesn't give a shit because she got to do what the elites tell her to do, and so-called subordinates, man. So that's the game. When folks want to walk in government, you get exposed to the dark side. All right. So this is from the NBC channel, and then let's see if we could go to the New Haven. All right, this is for Connecticut. All right, let's see how it loads up. So it says vaccine buddy program helps seniors in New Haven County navigate state's C-19 vaccine sign-up process. So you see how they're doing it. All right, so they got to test it out somewhere, and they're gonna, replicate it somewhere else. That's how they do it. That's how Obamacare started. They're pushing it in Massachusetts. That's when that old man, Massachusetts was pushing Obamacare, man, and all that stuff. And that's the whole trick. They introduce it to you under different guise, and then down the line, they make it widespread. They want it to be adopted. All right, so this is for New Haven, Connecticut. So that was for DC, I showed you previously. Let's see how this goes.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
But you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found the course online. You'll find something.
We'll find something new.
You got the word of the Lord, I can. You got the word of the Lord.
More help tonight for seniors who are trying to make their COVID program recently launched in the county is aimed much easier. News 8 7's
Let's see how this goes.
War 75.
Yes, that's how far Esau's willing to go, man. He's willing to push to make sure it gets
Buddy
people.
program. Eva.
Well, good evening to you, Amber. This is a team effort here in New Haven, and they are hoping to help as many.
Instead of getting frustrated with it, we decided to do something.
People who are their COVID vaccine, but scheduling and
Set up and that are difficult for them to navigate.
that's why the Vaccine Buddy program created by Interfaith Volunteers of Greater New Haven, South Central Connecticut. Here's how it works.
The fact that they've had someone who literally is just assigned for them, their special person, right, who can see to it that the whole thing, that to make the whole thing happen for them is.
Yeah, so that's how Esau is, man. You can't put your trust. You can't put your trust in your enemy. So the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10 tells you, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. And Esau will never want to take responsibility for the debts he's caused, these corporations, right? Because they already got the governments in their back pocket. That's the reason why these people can't go after the corporations. And the folks, that suffered because of the opioid epidemic, they're not done yet, man. They're still pissed off, and the Lord is going to make them more angry, and they're going to, unleash that vengeance upon these so-called corporations and politicians that allow the shit, that allow the epidemic to go out of control. And, the DEA didn't do enough because they knew what the problem was. So, hey, you decided to play games with people's lives, so that's what happens, man. So it's going to be ugly, man, because people are upset, and you know what happens, man, when people get upset. Bruises, bruises become evident. So that's why it's important, man, to pay attention to the plight of the oppressed, whether it's of our people or whether it's to the others of the other nations, man. So that way you know how to move accordingly.
It's priceless.
They have dozens of vaccine buddies already, but more help is needed. Christian Tallow is one of those volunteers.
When we first started talking, she was very hesitant because she didn't know what to do. She didn't know where to get started. She didn't even have an email account. So it was very all new and foreign to her. Telling her today that she had the appointment you can tell, even though it was through the phone, there's a big smile on her face.
He's encouraging others to do their part as well.
Or you want to join to help.
They're hoping the program will spread and take off across Connecticut.
It'd be great if other people.
Yeah, so that's how desperate Esau is, man, to make people take that jab. And that's what Gates wants also. So, just keep your eyes open, be circumspect, because your adversary, the devil, is moving around seeking whom he may devour. All right, so remember that, man. It's devouring people, by the hundreds, man. So our people over there in South America, they also taking the jabs too. So, hey, just pray, Lord, Yahweh Shah keeps you faithful in these last days, man, because these are really some evil times, all right? Stay up, stay circumspect, inshallah.